Hello, everybody, and welcome back to yet another Coinsider live stream. I'm so excited to get into this one today. But first and foremost, how does my mic sound? Can I get a mic test? If I sound nice and clear, please go ahead and leave a comment down below so we can go ahead and get started with everything. Mic check 1 2 1 2. How am I sounding? Let's see. Mic check 1 2 1 2. Just a quick mic check. If you can go ahead and leave it in the comments. How is my mic sounding? If I am good, just go ahead and leave a thumbs up in the comments. All right. Thank you very much. Let's see, audio. All right, we should be good. Okay. So thank you for joining us for yet again another Coinsider live stream where we cover everything that's been going on in the markets over the last week. There has been some exciting things happening. Bitcoin has been trading a little bit sideways. Mike is good. Okay, now I'm seeing the comments come in. Mike is good. You are good. Perfect. Thank you, everybody. So yes, I'm excited to get into today's episode because there are some exciting things creeping up in the market, some exciting opportunities, and we're going to go ahead and look at it. There has been a ton of hype around SUI. Why? We're going to go ahead and take a look at why SUI has so much attention right now. There's also a brand new meme market emerging, and it seems to have a lot of opportunity coming out, and it seems to be playing into a few different narratives: Solana, Cosmos, and of course, meme coins. Can this potentially spark a whole nother meme wave in of itself? We're going to go ahead and take a look at that as well. We're going to take a look at what Bitcoin is doing, what altcoins are doing, and potentially some plays to set ourselves up for the next leg of the bull run, for when the bull run kicks off once again. So we're actually going to go ahead and analyze different opportunities and projects that you go ahead and submit in the comments, as well as some things that I have prepared for you. So let's go ahead and get right into it here. All right, audio good, thank you. So if we hop over here, we can see that on the day, alts actually have not been doing too well. If you zoom out, you'll see that we've actually been pretty much trading sideways. On the month, it's been pretty rough, as we can see here. Things down 40%, 30%, and worse. But on the year, of course, we've still been doing pretty well. But the first thing I want to focus on today is actually SUI. We can go ahead and take a look at the SUI price. Yes, it's up 50% on the year, but on the month, week, and daily, it hasn't been too exciting. However, a lot of investors and the bees are starting to swarm around SUI. And what could be the reason for this? Actually, the reason for this is because Grayscale announced that they are launching a trust for both SUI and TAO. So a trust is not an ETF. Mind you, there are some key differences between a trust and the ETF. I'll quickly tell you. So a trust pretty much is a closed-ended fund, whereas an ETF is an open-ended fund, meaning that shares are issued at inception for a trust. So there's a fixed amount of shares, whereas for an ETF, shares are issued based on investor demand. So as many investors want to be a part of that fund. So a few just key differences between a trust and an ETF. So Grayscale, which is one of the oldest players in this whole trust and ETF game when it comes to Bitcoin, Ethereum, and now a myriad of altcoins, have now launched a SUI trust and a TAO trust for eligible accredited investors, which is a pretty big deal for that ecosystem. So as you can read here, we are proud to announce the creation of 2 single asset crypto investment funds available through private placement: Grayscale BitTensor Trust, TAO, and Grayscale SUI Trust, ticker symbol SUI. And you can see the press release here if you want to go ahead and find this tweet by Grayscale. But as you can see, they're solely invested in TAO, the token underpinning the BitTensor protocol, which leverages tokens to incentivize the development of open source AI. So TAO continuing to lead the AI narrative along with the top AI plays. And SUI, the token underpinning SUI's protocol, a layer 1 smart contract blockchain to enable scalable decentralized apps. SUI is a pretty smooth blockchain. I've played around with SUI a bit, haven't gotten into too many SUI coins underneath the ecosystem, but we can go ahead and look at some today. So a little bit later in the episode, I'll be taking some community picks. Maybe we'll find some plays underneath SUI and prepare ourselves for potentially what's to come with this whole ecosystem. And we can actually also go ahead and, yeah, FUD. I know that's like the main, I think that's like the main meme coin on SUI. So we're going to go ahead and look at some potential plays underneath. But we can go ahead and see this tweet here by Andrew Kang as well. No knowledge of anything actually happening, but combination of the below leading me to bet that there's some interesting developments upcoming for SUI. There's definitely been a lot of noise around SUI, and you don't want to ignore this when this happens in the market. Sometimes the markets will give you clear signs for the next play, and this could potentially be it. So Rob Paul show thread, while he sits on advisory board, there's large OTC bids coming through, relatively strong holdership throughout big unlocks. That does say quite a lot. Aggressive price action with no pullback. Big recent performance upgrade with the, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Missicity. Forgive me for butchering it. Potentially allowing for interesting new apps being made. So we're going to go ahead and look at some of that as well. If you are invested in SUI or you're aware of the SUI ecosystem, be sure to drop some info in the comments, and we're going to go ahead and analyze all of this together. Audio is good. Thank you. I have $2 of SUI, the Revolut lesson freebie. SUI is awesome, very easy to use. So it seems like some of you actually do use the SUI blockchain and SUI tech, SUI ecosystem. So I'm excited to get into some plays underneath SUI today. So that's the main news I would say, is that SUI now has its very own trust by none other than Grayscale. And this can lead to more adoption. This can lead to more capital inflows and just overall attention on the SUI ecosystem. So we're going to go ahead, and towards the end of the episode, we're going to be taking some community picks and analyzing different coins and different protocols within the SUI ecosystem. But of course, we can't go ahead and analyze the market without looking at what's going on with Bitcoin, right? So let's pop back over to the screen here. And as you can see, one thing that got a lot of investors a little bit spooked, we had a pretty sharp sell-off from 61K all the way down to this 58K, and that was an actual market reaction to the US government sending over, I believe, 10,000 Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime. And anytime, and you can see it here by Arkham Intelligence, probably one of the best intelligence protocols where you can actually track things very clearly. They give you visuals and everything like that. So you can actually see here that this is the US government account, and they've sent over, as you can see here, 9,999.999 Bitcoin. So 10K Bitcoin valued at about $593 million to Coinbase Prime. And these were the funds that was actually seized by the Silk Road incident. If you remember what had happened, if you're not aware of that, Silk Road was a large black market which used Bitcoin as the main currency to buy different illicit items and illegal substances and things like that. Back in the day, they were shut down by the US government, and 10,000 Bitcoin was seized, and they went ahead and sent this Bitcoin to the Coinbase Prime wallet. Now, anytime you see large amounts of crypto sent over to a centralized exchange, typically that means an intent to sell that crypto, and the market kind of overreacted or tried to get ahead of it and sold off, resulting in that decline from that 61K below 59K. And I think that was a bit of an overreaction. Yes, 500 million, it is a lot, sounds like a lot, but in the grand scope of things, isn't that much. And I don't think justifies that big sell-off. But that's the difference you'll see between a trader and an investor. It's important to know the difference, and it's important to know which one that you are. Are you a trader or are you an investor? Go ahead and comment and let me know. Are you a trader or are you an investor? Are you trading for the short term and trying to scalp gains where you can here and there, or maybe you play with leverage? Or are you in here for the long haul like I am, in here for the future adoption of this technology and this whole ecosystem that we love, which is crypto. I say I'm an investor. So when I see things like this, I don't get so spooked. But the traders, they get scared, especially the ones who have all those big longs open that, oh no, I got to close my longs, or I should pop open a short. You know, they just sent over 10K Bitcoin, and traders are the ones who would really panic, whereas investors are the ones that would sort of be cool, calm, and collected and are waiting for what happens next. So that's the difference between holding spot and also holding leveraged plays. So that's one thing to keep into account. But yes, Silk Road transferred 10K Bitcoin to Coinbase Prime. You can see their wallet here. And the US government wallet 2 weeks ago, this Bitcoin was sent on to 33J, a Coinbase Prime deposit wallet. So again, usually that means the intent to go ahead and sell. And what could this possibly mean? So again, the difference between a trader and an investor, while this was going on, Marathon, which is actually the largest public Bitcoin miner, was actually buying Bitcoin, right? They were actually buying this FUD, and that's what, you know, I believe shrewd investors would do. Whenever you got to be a contrarian. Whenever there's any sort of FUD, that's a small opportunity to go ahead and pick up cheaper, or go ahead and be a contrarian. So that's one thing I like to look at. And that's really what's been going on with Bitcoin in the last few days. Already, I believe this is starting to cool off. Like that FUD is pretty much, I guess, already behind us. Usually when you see something like this, it doesn't last too long. So let's go ahead and pop back over here. Are you an investor or a trader? I'm an investor. Yes, that just like me. I like that. HODL, yes. Investor, yes. It's good to see so many in the community that are investors over traders. To me, in the long term, that's I would say an easier way to win, a little bit less stressful. You don't have to check the charts every 2 seconds and see, oh no, have I gotten liquidated? Am I about to hit my stop loss? So definitely I'll take being an investor over being a trader. Yes, there's money to be made in trading, but like my man said here, Paul Parker, HODL. That's what I like to do. I'm not even an investor, just a hodler. Yes, that's the right energy right there. And just like MX Traveler is saying, U.S. government should just hold, like Trump says, strategic reserve. Yes, I believe that's the way to move. That's the way I like to move. And let's see what the community is saying here. Yes, you're right, MX Traveler. Unfortunately, we still have the anti-crypto army behind the steering wheel over there. Yes, hopefully that starts to change now. You know, we're seeing a few really solid crypto supporters in the government, but we'll see what that means. You know, you can never be too sure. So yeah, let's see. Does SUI have any DEX? Does SUI have any DEX that has a coin listed already? I believe yes, there are coins under the SUI ecosystem like FUD and a few other ones. We're going to go ahead and take a look at those in a little bit here. So be sure you leave them in the comments and I'll go ahead and take a look at it. But yes, it's good to see that there are so many investors over traders. You know, being a trader is stressful, it's risky, and moves like that can shake you out of the market, or can liquidate you or make you hit your stop loss. Whereas if you're holding for the long term, you're not too phased. So let's go ahead and keep right on with this. All right. The Tau rocket as well due to this announcement. We can actually go ahead and take a quick look at BitTensor Tau and see what it looks like. So let's pop back over here. We'll go together to Tau, BitTensor Tau. Looks like it did have a small reaction. But all of these things, I believe, are not just for the short term. It's still down 15% on the month, 8% on the week, and up just 1.5% on the day. So it didn't have an aggressive reaction to this information. And honestly, quite honestly, I kind of like this, because when the bull market does kick back on, you have to remember these key catalysts and these key situations here. When there's a ton of money flooding back into the market, you want to look at the plays that have relative strength and have relative catalysts behind them, being SUI, being Tau. And once the market really starts to kick back off and we get this alt season that we've truly been waiting for, we haven't gotten that alt season that we've been waiting for this entire bull run. But when that does happen, I believe these are some of the tokens that are going to have relative strength when the market comes back. So you want to look at things like this. It has its very own trust with sophisticated investors and stuff like that. It's on Wall Street, basically. And you want to look at things like that and the plays underneath that. One thing I also want to quickly touch on is actually the potential pandemic that we're seeing. Not even potential, it's actually been announced as a pandemic. You know, not to bring any negative news, but there was the monkeypox pandemic that's been announced starting in Congo. And of course, that's a negative thing for the world. But if we actually look back in history and see what happened on the last pandemic, which was, of course, COVID, obviously, we don't want to go back to those times, but there was a lot of money printing that was done, right? There was a ton of money printing through things like stimulus checks. Over in Canada, they had the SURB, and in different places around the world, they've just been stimulating the markets by printing more and more money. And when this happens, our precious risk assets usually actually start to go on a run. And that's what we could potentially be seeing if this monkeypox pandemic starts to, become more and more prominent. Obviously, we hope that doesn't happen. I hope that doesn't happen at all. But this is how the market typically reacts. If we're anything similar to how COVID was, and there's more money printing, that could actually potentially spark off a run and a rally. And we'll see what happens with that. I hope that isn't the catalyst that brings the alt market, but that is actually what we're potentially looking at right now. The WHO, which is the World Health Organization, declared monkeypox as a global pandemic. And when that happens, if we look at history, it doesn't always repeat itself, but it definitely rhymes. That paired along with the elections that we're about to see. Historically, crypto has always ran following the elections. So we're going to go ahead and see what happens with that catalyst. Just another thing to sort of be cognizant of and be aware of. So moving right along. Here is something that, before we get into the audience picks, one of my personal picks that I've been seeing is unicorns ooh woo. So here's actually a tweet by me. And honestly, ooh woo and the unicorn ecosystem I've been aware of from like I want to say 6 months ago. They only just went live a few days ago, but this is another ecosystem that's making a ton of noise. So here is the unicorn.meme website. As you can see here, it's quite funny. It has a whole Windows XP theme going on. I believe at first it was Windows 97. Now I guess they've upgraded and it's Windows XP, and just like a fun site. I don't have audio on right now, but they have just absolute bangers here playing in their Winamp window. So very nostalgic site right here. But what they aim to do is to be the top meme layer one. This is actually a layer one made just for memes, and they're built on the Cosmos SDK, but they had their TGE on Solana. If you want to check out unicorn.meme, it's right here. So what I like about them is they're doing things a little bit differently. They made their very own meme market. They started with their memojis, which are just pretty much just emojis, but they've actually been ripping, and I've been trading in and out of these and just having a ton of fun. They're doing things just a little bit differently, and it's a little bit refreshing to see. They've been sort of just delivering vibes, I would say. The music is fun. The memes are fun. They were very strategic to airdrop every prominent community. That was a really good marketing ploy that they did. Every major meme community, you can see 579 past airdrops. Basically, this was just to get a lot more exposure and attention on them, and they're focused on sort of the biggest meme communities within crypto. So as you can see, and even regular communities like Celestia. So they have a ton of attention from what they did here with this. And that's why, even though they were an airdrop token, it's rare to see airdrop tokens actually have a pump on TGE. So this token actually 10x since it originally came out, which was interesting to see. A lot of the times on airdrops, you get dumps right away because people just got free money. But you have to pay attention to these things. They're actually pumped following the TGE. And their memoji market had a ton of volume come in. And the unicorn ecosystem is just something that I would keep my eye on. When this alt market does kick in, investors like to degen into different plays, and memes have been hot all cycle long. So I think this is something that could potentially be worth a look if they continue to deliver. I've been able to earn more ooh by trading in and out of the memoji market. It is volatile, so definitely be careful as you're doing it, and definitely do your own research. But Unicorn is one that I am watching closely. Now, we can get into some audience picks. If you have any altcoins, meme coins, ecosystems, airdrops that you want us to take a look at right now, go ahead and drop it in the comments, and we're going to analyze it together. So we can go ahead and get right into that. Is it safe to connect my wallet? This is a trippy looking site. I've connected my wallet multiple times and traded in and out of it. It does look quite sketchy and quite iffy, trippy, but that's sort of the look that they're going for. What a crazy site. Yeah, the site is crazy. Honestly, if you go ahead and check out the site for yourself, make sure you have sound on so you can hear the music. It's actually really funny, and it makes it really really a fun experience. So Landwolf, please. Perfect. Okay, that's a good one that we can go ahead and look at. Now, Landwolf, I was already aware of. Let's pop over here and go to Landwolf. I'm not sure if they got their Twitter back. The original Landwolf on Sol, their Twitter actually got deleted, which has actually happened to most of the that's actually happened to most of the Boys Club tokens, which seems to be some sort of bullish catalyst, because it happened to Pepe, it happened to Brett, and now it's happening to Wolf. But Wolf on Sol, Landwolf on Sol, we can go ahead and take a look. It's been actually pretty beat up, sitting at a $45 million market cap. I had originally gotten into Wolf at around a 20 mil market cap, and I took profits around 120 mil. However, we can go ahead and see Wolf. I do like this pick. It seems to be down right now. I would gamble a little bit into Wolf because there are one of the main Boys Club players on Solana. Let's see if they got their Twitter back real quick. Okay, they got their Twitter back. Perfect. The Boys Club Wolf. So the icon of Solana, Landwolf, is the most degenerate character from the Matt Fury's Boys Club comic. And if you are familiar with Matt Fury and the Boys Club, you know the sort of price performance they've had in the meme space. They've pretty much dominated the meme space, the vibes and the degen sort of culture within Landwolf. You can kind of get a picture of that here. They really captured the degen culture, I would say, and some of the most passionate holders. Price action hasn't been good. If Landwolf is something that you are into and holding for the top of the next sort of altcoin season, this seems to be a support. I think it's actually broken a support at this line. So that's really at your discretion. I would definitely go ahead and do your research. You can see sort of the top holders. 45,000 holders is very strong, but of course, people can have multiple wallets and so on and so forth. So definitely, I would take this one with a grain of salt. Never invest more than you're willing to lose. I do like Landwolf personally as a meme coin play on Sol. So let's go ahead and take a look at some others. You can always create an extra wallet for it. Yep, exactly. As I was alluding to. And let's see, Mr. Om Kara said, can you take a look at SKL? Also, when you add projects for me to take a look at, please also include the full name, because there could be multiple SKLs, but let's go ahead and try to find SKL. So please put the ticker symbol and the name beside it. That way it'll be a little bit easier for me to find, and we'll go ahead and take a look. So SKL. Not sure if this is what it is. SKL is between the trend line and demand area. The SKL finally bottom. Yeah, so I'm not sure exactly which SKL. Is it the scale network that we're looking at? I assume so, because I see a lot of people that I follow. Scale is a multi-chain blockchain solution designed to scale Ethereum, offering customizable gas-free chains for dApps. Over 72 million monthly transactions, 3.5 million active wallets. Scale's ecosystem is rapidly expanding. So let's go ahead and see if we can find SKL here. Scale. Hopefully, I'm even looking at the right token. But let's go ahead and take a look. As we can see right here, circulating supply, 78%. That's really solid. FDV, 218 million. And the market cap itself, 170 million. So I like to see that decently close FDV to market cap ratio. Anytime I'm seeing over 75% of the tokens in circulation, I feel more comfortable getting in. It looks like it's at a very long-term support here. So if this is something that interests you, a narrative that fits your thesis, this does seem like a decent entry point. I mean, it's been decimated from over 80 cents all the way down to 3 cents now. If it can reclaim its previous all-time highs, that's multiples, from where we are currently. Let's take a quick look at their website to get a little more information. Fuels innovation, not gas fees. I think that's a pretty good narrative to play into, because of course the biggest complaint with Ethereum over the years is how high the gas fees are. So if scale is about, I guess, no gas or low gas, that's quite bullish in my opinion. Say goodbye to slow transactions with high fees and say hello to an invisible blockchain experience. So I guess you can go ahead and bridge to scale. And I'm assuming once you're over in there, there's no gas. So look, they say they've saved over almost $8 billion in gas fees for their users. They have something called subnodes, 0 gas fees forever. Definitely sounds great. I'll have to check it out a little deeper off camera so I can actually get in there. We're not going to have enough time for me to truly go in and test it out and experiment with it. However, if what they're making is accurate and works right now as they're marketing it, then I think this is actually quite an interesting play, and it looks to be at a pretty decent entry level. And I do like the circulating supply. So that seems like an interesting play. Thank you for sharing. We're going to go ahead and get into some of the other ones. So let's go ahead and see Ton ecosystem, please. Definitely a very strong one. I'm still watching Ton very, very closely. And let's go ahead and see how Ton is actually performing price-wise. So Ton, I just love the whole Telegram narrative. I think it makes so much sense. I've used a ton of different, no pun intended, a ton of different applications on Telegram that is within the Ton ecosystem. There's still many of them coming out. There's also the DOGE airdrop, which we shared in the Retail Investors DAO. More on that later. But we have the Ton coin here. It's had a tremendous, tremendous year. Down 11% on the month, 2% on the week, and 3% on the day. So with Ton, of course, you have the FDV here at 32 billion, and then the market cap, the circulating market cap at 16 billion. Definitely a large token, but I believe that this merits, that the ecosystem merits its market cap for sure. Unlike a few different other protocols, I believe Ton actually truly deserves its high market cap, and I do believe it still has a long way to go, just because think about how many users there are on Telegram alone, and they're doing more and more to integrate their blockchain and their dApps and their apps within the Telegram app itself. Telegram, which is one of the best sort of community and social applications, being integrated with the blockchain, I feel like is a no-brainer. And we're seeing cooler and cooler things start to drop within the Ton ecosystem. For instance, you can have an entire wallet just on your Telegram. You can have an entire DEX on your Telegram. There's crypto games built right within Telegram. So you never actually have to really leave Telegram to interact with Ton and to do a few cool different things. You can trade, you can earn money, and you can do different DeFi sort of functions directly in Telegram. So I believe that they have a unique advantage by having one of the most, if not the most popular social applications for crypto and even beyond crypto. I'm very bullish on Ton and to see what they do for the long term. I remember trying to find an entry early on and just getting left behind when it went on this crazy rip from like the $1 range all the way up to $7, $8, and now sitting at $6. Definitely think they'd still have a ways to go. It's not a small cap, so definitely I would, in every coin there's always pullbacks, so I would try to take advantage of pullbacks and average in slowly. So that was also a good pick. Thank you for sharing. We can go ahead and take a look at some of the other picks. Let's see. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for adding the name along with the ticker. So if you want me to take a look at it, please put both the name and the ticker, and we're going to go ahead and jump into it together. Thoughts on Research Coin, ticker symbol RSC. The token is live. The co-founder is Brian Armstrong. That's saying a lot if the co-founder is Brian Armstrong. So let's go ahead and take a look at Research Coin together. Let's go from here. See that first of all, let's just see if we can see their Twitter off the rip. Research Coin. Let's go RSC. Research Hub. Maybe we'll go ahead from CoinMarketCap. RSC Research Coin. All right, let's take a look. Brian Armstrong being one of the co-founders, that would be insane. Obviously getting a call, my bad. Obviously the founder of Coinbase, the CEO of Coinbase. Let's go ahead and see if that is actually accurate. If it's sitting at only a 24 million market cap and an FDV of 255 million, I definitely don't like that ratio. Only 9% in circulation. Definitely don't like that. That means whenever you see this low amount of circulating supply, only 9%, that means that there are still allocations to be unlocked to early investors, early contributors, the team, and anyone who's sort of involved early behind the scenes of the people who can trade on the open market right now. So yes, it's up 1,400% all time. Looks like since 2023 they came out, July of 2023. So just over a year ago, it being August 6th. So with that and still having so many tokens to be unlocked, that doesn't attract me personally. I wouldn't, just off of that alone, I'd be pretty bearish to go ahead and jump in. But if you're saying Brian Armstrong is the co-founder, there definitely has to be something interesting going on here. So they have, looks like a research hub, evaluating the utility of ChatGPT. He promotes interpret effects. So that's interesting. It looks like to be a big research hub. I guess you can find some valuable information and some alpha. You can find some information and some alpha, I believe, on this. Let's go quickly look at their docs. If it's made by Brian Armstrong, let's see if we can find team. Doesn't seem to be a team page, but that's quite interesting. A research token, a research hub. Cool. Again, I don't like the circulating supply to market cap ratio. That turns me off, but I do like things like this, sort of, I guess, an alpha sort of focused token. Maybe that's going to have a season of itself, but I haven't seen too many prominent, I guess, information tokens go on a crazy run. I don't believe that that's like a prominent sector as of yet. Potentially it will have its time, but as of right now, I don't see I wouldn't actually ape into Research Coin because of both my thesis as well as the circulating supply. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next one. Let's see. Can we confirm if Brian Armstrong is even part of the team or just an investor? Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. It could be Coinbase Labs that is just invested in it. I'm not sure, but you'll have to take a deeper look at Research Coin when they go ahead and when we go ahead and finish the stream. So let's go ahead and take a look. DOGE hype train. All right, so DOGE, another one that was shared within the retail investors DAO. So I would urge you, if you don't have a community, or if you're looking for a strong community of investors and crypto users who are staying on top of all the most key information, staying on top of all the airdrops, all the new launches like Unicorn, like DOGS, like a ton of different protocols that are coming out. Link is in the description for the Retail Investors DAO. You can find Kevin there. You can find me there. You can find our whole community and team sharing alpha each and every day. DOGS is one that we shared from early on. And if you had a Telegram account, for, I believe, at least over a year, you got some free tokens. And the number one thing for getting these airdrops is simply just to know about them. There's been tons of airdrops that even I've been eligible for, but just didn't know about it. And I missed the claim window, and I ended up missing out on 10 grand here. I ended up missing out on even $500 here, or even $20,000 there. So that's one thing with airdrops. You definitely want to be aware of them, and you want to stay on top of all the ones that are coming out. Because if you've been using crypto for a little while, you've definitely interacted with different protocols. You've interacted with different dApps, and this can actually qualify you for free tokens across different ecosystems. So the number one thing is to be aware and keep an ear to the ground. Easy way to do this is to be part of a community that is always sharing this information. The one that I recommend and choose would be the Retail Investors DAO. I'll share my screen really quickly. So if you come over here, you'll see Retail DAO. The link is in the description, completely free to join. And over in this Discord here, if we pop open to the share and find latest airdrops here, you'll see that we just are sharing all the airdrops as they come out. I would say I'm a pretty big airdrop hunter. So as soon as I find something, I share it here. If I think it's going to be of value, I go ahead and share it here right away. So dogs is one that I say, hey guys, look, there's dogs. If you've been using Telegram, you get this free airdrop. You go ahead, you connect your wallet, and boom, a ton of the members were able to get free dog tokens. Whether or not you may have been aware of it, all you had to do was have a Telegram, and then you could have done some free tasks. And I believe now Dogs is having their TGE on the 20th. So I definitely would recommend hopping into the Retail Investors DAO. But the Dogs hype train, this is pretty much an airdrop that was completely for free. You didn't have to do any sort of transactions. You didn't have to spend any money or buy an NFT or do anything sort of funky like that. It was actually completely for free. So regardless of how it does, whether it's worth, 3, 4, 5 figures, you had nothing to lose. So it doesn't hurt. I believe there's a ton of hype around dogs. They're trying to integrate once again within the Ton ecosystem and within the Telegram dApps. So I think it's something that could be definitely worth a look. We're still early to the whole Telegram wave. I believe now Telegram is a narrative of itself. Ton is a narrative of itself with these Telegram apps being built directly underneath. So I definitely think that's one that's worth a look. I won't be buying, but I will be sort of playing around with my airdrop. Maybe I'll sell some, buy some back, and play around with it that way. So let's go ahead and take a look at some different tokens. Doc's team has been stellar so far. They have, I believe they've been delivering pretty well. Brian is the co-founder of RSC, not just an investor. Okay, someone confirmed that. So yeah, you guys can go ahead and look deeper into that. But let's go ahead and see what Rovan Mohammed is talking about with Lama. I mean, it's a meme coin, but we can go ahead and take a quick look. We'll see the price performance and so on and so forth. So let's hop over to Deck Screener real quick. Lama. She said it's a soul meme coin. I like to just see the one, I guess, with the biggest MC and liquidity. Soul Lama, perhaps, is the one, I assume. I've seen that before. 473K liquidity. Liquidity is locked. Let's see how they've been performing. This is the day chart. Looks like sort of like the typical price action you see with a meme. A big run up and a big sell off. Little baby pumps here, and now it's down at 5.3 million market cap. It's actually been all the way up to, it actually touched 100 mil market cap, and it hasn't been anywhere close since. I'm not sure if there's any special catalyst for this token for why it should sort of return to greatness. I see some big names following it. Mario Nafal, Crypto Club. That's interesting. Personally, I don't know enough information. I'm not sure if this is like a big cabal coin. So, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not going to be aping into Solama, but thank you for sharing. Yeah, little baby pumps there. Okay. What is your favorite AI crypto project? quite honestly, as much as I do love AI, and I do think the AI narrative is going to sort of lead the charge at some point, and AI as a technology obviously is very important. It makes so much sense. But me personally, I wouldn't say I have a favorite AI crypto project. I don't believe there's any out right now that truly captures the or leverages AI technology to the max as to where it actually really feeds value back into the token. But I like to continue to focus on industry leaders, because a lot of the time the winners win. That's a saying I like to follow a lot of the time. Winners win. So I would look at Tau, I look at Render, just because when that narrative does come into full swing, those are the coins that are most likely to perform. There definitely will be smaller ones underneath that have a longer way to go, but trying to pick that is like, it's pretty much just like trying to pick a meme coin. Like, good luck with it. Like, there's so many out there. So the thing about AI coins is I haven't found that my personal favorite one yet, because again, I believe it's something that's becoming a little bit saturated. So right now I just keep my eyes on the top ones and have a little bit of exposure there. So yes, exactly, Tau and Render, probably the top ones within the narrative. So I would just keep bags of that, average and trade around and play around with that until I find that one where I'm like, yes, this is the one I've been looking for. So let's see. Can Jupe do what Uniswap did last alt season? Honestly, I believe that, first of all, Jupe, I got to check about the supply. That's one thing I don't like. The big thing for me, as you can see, is the supply. So I'm not sure about the circulating supply. We'll take a look at Jupe. As an exchange itself, I love Jupiter. As an exchange itself, I love Jupiter. Obviously, Solana has been the place to trade throughout this entire market cycle. But Jupiter, let's go ahead and take a look at their tokenomics. That's one thing I like to see, is the tokenomics. So we exactly have total supply at 10 billion Jupe, but circulating supply is at 1.3. I do believe, to be honest, they are strong enough to merit, to sort of merit and counteract that. But if you go ahead and look at the FDV, is 7 billion, 7.3 billion, whereas the market cap itself, am I tripping? Wait, yeah, 7 billion, whereas the market cap itself is 900 million. So yeah, that's a pretty big FDV to market cap ratio. That's what usually I don't like to see. However, Jupe, I believe, actually can be an exception, because they're one of the strongest exchanges on Solana. Solana is the hottest chain at the moment. There's most of the trading, meme coin trading, and even other altcoins. Solana is getting the most amount of volume right now, and Jupiter is actually capturing a lot of this value by being one of the top exchanges. So definitely I like Jupiter as a play. I'm not crazy about the market cap to FDV ratio, but I will still keep my eyes on Jupiter, and I will still keep some exposure in Jupiter personally. But again, just got to take it with a grain of salt and trade carefully, because there are going to be unlocks to investors with large amounts that can potentially dump on you, and that's how it works when that happens. So thoughts on Mongi meme coin? Doc, successful founder who has its coin listed on Binance in the past. Mongi. So I guess we can look at meme coins. We looked at a few meme coins, but again, you want to make sure they're not cabal tokens. You want to make sure you're getting in at the right time. Meme coins are really funny. If I'm not early to it or have some special information, a lot of the time I think it's hard to win. If Mongi has a big community and a very strong community, it could potentially do well. This says the founder in the past have had coins listed on Binance. I'm not sure what he's doing with those old coins now. Has he moved on, and is he working on this one? So you want to look at different things like that. We're not going to get too deep into Mongi. If you're interested, you can go ahead and search that up. We go swap on Phantom. I'm new to crypto research. I don't know how to check if they solved the issues that was pointed out in their CERDIC audit. So if there's issues in their CERDIC audit, that's already a deterrent for me. But I do see that Phantom is actually getting some hype again, is actually getting some buzz going on around them once again. So I definitely would be looking for some plays underneath Phantom. But overall, If I'm seeing issues in their code, then that's something that I personally would just back out of, because there's just so many different things that go wrong every single day in crypto, and things that happen with exploits. So if the code isn't tight off the rip, that's already telling me something about their execution, about the team. And personally, I just move on, because there's so many different things to look at in crypto and so many potential places to allocate your funds. So if there's for me, when in doubt, I go out. That's my saying too. That's my new saying. When I'm in doubt, I go out. I don't spend too much time, waste too much time, because there's so many different opportunities and places where you can allocate your funds. So if there's anything a little bit iffy with that, I move on. You are quite welcome, sir. So let's go ahead and look at. Can HyperLiquid beat out centralized exchanges? The volume is insane. Yeah, so HyperLiquid, I actually haven't used it too much, but I know it is one of the best, or one of the most widely used. I know people use it to actually even short new tokens. I'm not sure exactly how that works. Well, let's take a quick look at HyperLiquid. Let's actually jump right on. I believe I've been on HyperLiquid before. HyperLiquid L1 performant native components, including a DEX with 100% with 100 plus perps and native spot. So yes, people can go on there short and long directly on chain. So I honestly, I like the emergence of on chain perp dexes and exchanges over the centralized versions, like you find on centralized exchanges. I like this because it kind of still stays in the nature of crypto, being able to be, I guess, anon and still have access to perpetuals and futures. As you can see, they have over 132 assets, almost 200K users, 24-hour volume of over a billion, which is great to see. And many of my friends who I really respect in crypto always use HyperLiquid to go ahead and do their trades. And the question was, do I think it could beat out centralized exchanges? Honestly, I do think it could potentially beat out centralized exchanges, especially as altcoin season heats up. I believe we're going to see more and more traders doing their trading and their functions directly on chain rather than on centralized exchanges. And that's something that I love to see personally. When in doubt, I am out. Print it and stick it on your bedroom ceiling. Thank you. I appreciate that, random guy. That's one of my sayings in crypto. I think y'all should follow that too. If you're having doubts, just go out. Nice and easy. There's going to be tons of opportunities. There's going to be tons more opportunities. This market never sleeps, and it's always evolving so quickly. So it's easy to have your money locked up or tied up in something. You could be missing out on another thing. So if you have any sort of doubt, I just bow out and I move on. T-shirts saying I should make a t-shirt. I'm not sure if you're saying I should make a t-shirt saying that, or that you like my PSG sweater. Shout out to PSG real quick. The UWU team doxed? I don't believe so. And it's funny because they actually played into being sketchy early on. And that was like a sort of smart marketing play. At first, everyone was like, bro, what is this? Like, should I connect my wallet? Like, this looks so sketchy. Like, and the team's not doxed and all this stuff. And they kind of just made a joke about it. And that actually got pretty viral early on and got a lot of people aware of UWU. So I really like their marketing. I like how they're playing it. Now, mind you, here's two things about UWU, okay? And definitely could and honestly should give some people doubts. Team isn't doxed, and the token, is technically it's mintable. Technically, there's no supply. So, I mean, those are some massive, massive red flags. But nonetheless, I'm still actually bullish on UWU and what they're doing. But we can go ahead and move on. 24/7 party. Yes, that should be a t-shirt. I'm gonna see about getting a when in doubt, go out t-shirt. I think that's actually a good call. I might wear that on an incoming episode. Josh 2024 trademark. Thank you. I'm glad we started a nice saying on this. Finally, we have something good. Thoughts on Elium? I've been seeing this pop up a few different times in the comments. So let's go ahead and take a look together on Elium. This is something I don't have exposure in and haven't done too much research. So let's go ahead and learn about it together right now. Lithium. I think I'm spelling it right. All right, again, followed by some of the people I respect. Scalable for devs, secure for users, decentralized for all. POLW sharding. POLW, proof of liquid. I'm not sure exactly what this stands for. Sharding plus. So it looks like they play into a bunch of different narratives. Let's go ahead and look at their link tree real quick. Get rid of some of these here. Innovative sharding meets expressive. Honestly, I'm not sure exactly what some of these abbreviations mean. There's so many different ones in crypto. Proof of less work. That's pretty funny. It's not proof of work. It's standing for proof of less work to secure scalable dApps for real world use cases. Let's see. So I'm guessing they're a chain that uses DAG, built on novel sharding algorithm called Blockflow, leverages a stateful UTXO model and DAG data structure to deliver efficient and practical sharding. This enables Elium to natively support 10,000 transactions per second while preserving a seamless single chain user experience. So it's yet another chain. For some reason, maybe they're bigger than I thought, but I haven't heard too much about Elium. They have 39K followers here, but it's yet again another chain. And ask yourself, how many chains do we need? And is this chain truly the chain that's going to be a prominent one that could stand with the likes of Ethereum, Solana, and I guess some of these other ones? Mind you, SUI is a chain. There's a new chain dropping every single day. So ask yourself, do we need a new chain? Or does this chain have enough merit to be here for the long haul? That's one thing I ask myself for new chains. Is it the cult community? Is it is tech that good? Personally, when I see yet another chain, I'm like, here we go again. But ecosystem, they say, is growing fast. Dapps in different projects. Let's see the ecosystem. Maybe there's some prominent ones that we may already know that's on there. Looks like all these different dApps are made by them. AlfPad, Alf Trading Bot, Elium, Candy Swap. I'm not sure about any of these. What the Duck? I'm not sure about any of these. But if you go ahead and you use Elium on a regular basis, go ahead and drop that in the comments. Personally, I've never used Elium, and I don't know if I want to jump into another chain ecosystem. There's so many, and there's so many that I'm already a part of. So personally, Elium doesn't excite me, and they do have a few partners here. dApp Node. I haven't really heard too much about any of these VCs here. So personally, Elium does not excite me. Maybe is there token live? I guess we can quickly take a look if they have a token. And we'll see. Yep, there goes Aleph. That looks to have the same. Let's see. Market cap is 31 mil. FDV 62 mil. Not insane. FDV to market cap ratio, but it is down. Oh, they've been going since 2020. I guess that one must have flown under my radar or went over my head. But they've been trading since 2020, and they look to be around support. So if you're bullish on Elium, if I was bullish on Elium, I would start averaging in now while things are down. However, personally, I'm not. So I'm not going to be getting in. But thank you for sharing. Have I heard of Pyron? Honestly, I haven't. You know what? That's why I love this show, because there are so many different things, I guess, technically, that I haven't actually even looked at. The crypto is so vast, right? I know I haven't heard of Pyron. We also got Concero. It's a cross-chain infrastructure project token list. I like stuff like this. See, something like this would excite me a little bit, because it plays into one of my favorite narratives, which is cross-chain interoperability, right? As I mentioned earlier, there's so many different blockchains. There's so many different L1s and L2s. I like interoperability because they're playing into whoever wins. We're going to, be a pick and shovel that plays into that, right? That's why I really like bridge protocols. They haven't performed too well, but I still really like bridge protocols, because whether it's, Scroll or SUI or Ton or Solana, whatever chain is hot, they have a narrative that fits into whatever is hot, because there's going to be hundreds of chains continuing to come out. So I like interoperability because it plays into a multitude of them, and that's why I don't like choosing specific chains like Elium or like, you know, a random new chain that comes out. So thoughts on ATH Ether, Ether, yes, Ether, another one that plays into the AI and DePIN narrative. I actually am a checker node holder, if you're familiar with Ether. So basically, they're checker nodes which help sort of process their AI algorithms and such in the background, and you earn some rewards for it. I'm not a fan of their tokenomics. I believe it's very VC and team unlock heavy, and I don't like what they do with some of the locking periods for the reward holders. However, as a project itself, they have raised a ton of capital, and they do have a ton of infrastructure for their DePIN operation, as far as having like H100 chips and the amount of GPUs that they have. They have like H100 GPUs. If you know what that is, like these are the heavyweight GPUs. So they definitely have the tools and the funds to create a very, very powerful DePIN infrastructure. However, I don't like their tokenomics personally, and but I mean, I still do have exposure in Aether. I'm a node holder, and I'm earning Aether tokens passively, which is how I'm playing into it. I'm not actually buying new Aether. So I bought my node, and that's all I'm doing with that. But I think it's definitely worth a look. And yeah. There are also tons of bridges coming out, it seems. Yes, there are actually a ton of bridges. That space is getting a little more saturated. I would look at the industry leaders and the most prominent ones now, such as, of course, Layer Zero, Orbiter. You know, people really hate on Orbiter. That one's also tokenless, but that's one I have a lot of exposure in as far as their point system. Again, plays into the narrative perfectly. I think they have the most amount of bridge routes available, but I would look at Hyperlane. I would look at, of course, D-Bridge, Jumper. There's different ones worth a look. But overall, I'd rather place my bets in those than place my bets in specific chains personally, right? Just because of the amount of saturation. I believe the bridges are still much, much less saturated than the actual chains themselves, right? And so if we have time, thoughts on Venom blockchain. That one breaks my heart every time I hear Venom blockchain. I remember just the potential that they have for the airdrop. You know, airdrop farmers and airdrop hunters myself were very keen on Venom, and they had a chance to deliver. To be honest with you, the actual product itself, from using it in the testnet and everything like that, I actually was a fan of. I do like how their wallet and their blockchain is. They have fast finality times and actually a pretty clean UX. However, their token is another one where I'm not a big fan of their tokenomics, and their execution around TGE was very, very poor, I would say. And that took away a little bit of that hype and that heart that I had for Venom. But I still think there's potential there. I won't be buying because I'm salty about how they did their rollout. So just out of saltiness, I'm not buying. But I still think there is a opportunity there with Venom. Someone said, yeah, Venom disappointed me too. Yeah, we got these little NFT things, and it was for like, they had us grinding for a long, long time. They had this huge campaign, and but then when it actually came to TGE, it pretty much went ahead and was a little bit of a flop. We are low on time, but Rykola has been saying, can you instigate, please, or investigate Mass? They are a fork of Caspa. They promise to deliver SC10 10 BPS PAIW. I'm not actually 100% sure what that means, BPS. However, Massa, fork of Caspa. We can quickly take a look at this as the last one. So let's see, while we still have a little bit of time. We are just nearing that 1 hour mark. But Massa, I have been hearing a lot about Massa, ticker symbol Massa. Let's just see if we can find it here. They are up 4% on the day, down 74% all time. Yikes. Looks like they just launched only in April, and it's been down only ever since. according to our friend here, he said, according to our friend here, he's saying that they promised to deliver. If you can please tell me what that is, SC10 BPS, or if anyone knows what that is, please leave it in the comments. I'm not sure what you mean to deliver whatever that is, but blocks per second. Okay, I'm used to TPS, transactions per second, which Caspa has on testnet and 10, okay, on mainnet. So it looks like basically, I'm guessing some of this downward price action is from not delivering on their finality times or their block times like they promised to. And looks like they have a security highlight here, challenge Massa to demonstrate the security of their proof of stake system against potential attackers. So yeah, Massa, let's take a look at the market cap. 4 million is very small, and their FDV 27 million. It's not bad. Volume to market cap 3%. It looks like a dying token, but if they have some sort of big catalyst on the way, I'm not sure. Massa, which I'm guessing is another blockchain. You heard how I feel about all these random new blockchains. So yeah, I mean, I guess we can leave it at that. If you want to investigate and research Massa more closely, you can go right on ahead. However, I won't be looking for an entry into Massa. I have heard about it a little bit on crypto Twitter. Well, we are nearing the end of our stream time. Oh, perfect. We are nearing the end of our stream time. But first of all, thank you so much for everyone in the audience for joining us for yet another Coinsider live stream. I do this every single Friday. We cover the most interesting narratives and information that's happened over the last week. Be sure you join us in the Retail Investors DAO, and that's where I am pretty much 24/7, sharing my alpha, sharing my airdrops, and sharing our market analysis each and every day. The link is just in the description below, and I will see you next Friday at the same time, same place. Take care, guys.